Welcome to the Ambitious Broker Podcast, where elite real estate professionals share their secrets to success, discuss topics impacting their industry, and gain professional development insights. Enjoy today's episode. Welcome to part 3 of our Icon series with Chris Williams, an absolutely rock star real estate professional in the San Fernando Valley. Enjoy this last segment.
I do the same thing every time.
It is, okay. So it's a very structured presentation.
Very structured.
Okay.
I put together what I call the benefits of listing with Chris Williams. I could just do it in my sleep. And I just present them with that. And I put together just a solid package that in my farm specifically and in the valley shows my track record with all the addresses and a map that supports it,
right.
Referral letters. But probably a change that I've made in that is I really try to find out when I first sit down with a client is what are your needs? What is your expectation? Have you had good experiences? Have you had bad experiences? I think I used to just talk too much, like, ta-da, I'm here, I want to show you what I can do. And now I'm a little bit more in tune. Tell me what you need.
Right.
And then I'll tell you
how you can help.
How I think I'm a really good fit, because I'm a really good fit for everyone. It's the truth. I will fit my round peg into a square hole. I'm good at that, or a triangular or oval. I will make it fit. I just need to know what your needs and what your expectations are.
Well, and people's needs change.
They do.
Like in California right now, you're seeing more people who just want to leave California. Mm-hmm. I hate to say it. And so you're probably getting more of that type of thing. As opposed to, well, my family's getting bigger. I need more bedrooms or something now.
Yeah. There is still a bit of that, though.
Sure.
With, families merging. See a lot of multi-generational families. And so I feel very grateful for that.
Right.
There's some big homes out there that need to be built.
Right. Yeah. In fact, I'm surprised now with things the way they are that you see 4 and 5 bedroom houses are actually seems to be more of them now than in new construction.
Yeah, very
Somehow
true.
My gut would have told me it would be the other way around.
Right.
But so was there ever a moment in time, because it kind of goes back to something we were talking about earlier, when someone said something to you that you really needed to hear, but boy, it didn't feel good?
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Really?
Client, and feel free to edit this out if it's not appropriate.
Yeah.
Closed on a client. They were in my farm, and ironically, I was the listing agent when they purchased, and this client a year later decided they wanted to sell, and they came to me, and I was thrilled. And escrow closed. I thought it went well. Lots of communication, tons of communication. And when it was over, they decided to strip all the light fixtures out of the house. And I somehow had to put this thing back together. Cashier's checks. It was a nightmare. And after it was over, I said to them, what went wrong on this transaction?
Right.
And the husband said, my wife did not appreciate you not picking up the phone. She wanted to talk to you all the time. She didn't want a text. She didn't want an email. She wanted to see you, and she wanted to hear from you. Big lesson.
Right.
Let me tell you. I mean, I still have kick marks on my butt, but I learned. I took what they said to heart.
Right.
In fact, I actually left him a message about 2 years ago, didn't hear back, and said, I really, truly want to thank you for telling me what I did not want to hear and I didn't know. I said, because of that, I regularly pick up the phone.
Right.
I will email, I will text, and I will call now. Check in constantly. Do you have any questions? Is there anything on your mind? How are you feeling?
Wow.
And I owe that all to him.
Wow.
And I'm really grateful.
So that's you really saying I got to be preemptive now.
Absolutely.
Don't wait for it to come to you.
Nope.
Get out ahead of it.
And there was a little tiny bit of a language barrier. Little tiny bit. And what I realized was I thought I was being Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
Delivering everything ahead of time. but I was never asking them, where are you? Did you fully understand what we talked about?
Right.
Don't get me wrong. There were phone calls and quite a few.
Right.
But sometimes when you have a husband and a wife, the other spouse.
Right.
So now I'll say, let's do a conference call. Why don't you get Dave on the phone and let's do this together?
Got it.
And I'm not frustrated anymore.
Got it.
So
this really is about being inclusive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I used to hear that all the time, in the early days, is that, women, make sure that you talk to the woman and the man. Same thing if you're a man. Don't be, so to be inclusive of both people. And it does feel natural sometimes to be drawn to just one because you just click better.
Right. Or maybe they're more available.
Yeah.
Or they're the decision maker.
Right.
But never, never, never assume. And so
to
this day, I am forever grateful.
Wow.
I have a few transactions like that.
Tell me about how that's different today. Because I know today, I'm that guy. I'm just like you.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody calls me, the day will not end that I don't return somebody's phone call.
Yeah.
That's just cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that. That's the way I think. A lot of people don't think like that.
No.
And today, texting's so big, people won't answer the phones anymore.
Right.
In our election recently, the polling was so off, and I heard a guy on TV say, "Well, who picks up a phone anymore, especially if you don't recognize the number?"
Absolutely.
So who's actually getting pulled? So, and with the younger generation, it seems like they want to text.
Right. And you do have to mirror your style to theirs. But how I relate it is, if I were to go in and buy a new car and they have me sign, a foot thick of paperwork,
right.
I have no clue what I'm signing.
Right.
Not a clue. And I appreciate it when somebody is an expert in their field and they go out of their way to say, do you understand all that? Did you have any questions about that? I want to give you my summary sheet. So I've put together some really good forms,
right.
Offer summary and escrow summary, to where it's very, very explainable. I have an escrow closing.
So you the message here is that you try to take something that's very complex and sort of sum it down to this.
Absolutely.
Wow. And you have that in forms?
I do.
Really?
I do. And actually, when Jake was working for me, we put something together. We call it a fridge summary. Why a fridge? Because we're giving you 3 copies. One for you, and one for your fridge. So that every time you walk by that,
I love that. Yeah.
You can say, oh, we're closing on this day, but when do I have to be out? Oh, you have close of escrow plus 3 days. Wait, is the washer and dryer included? You go right to that summary and you have it.
Wow.
So I'm always looking,
wow.
How can I bring more value?
How
can I make this easier?
Yeah.
How can I make it more efficient? And another thing that I've done, let's just face it, our days are long and they're busy.
Right.
And there are a million details at any one given second that need to be communicated, and changing appointments and communicating that. So it used to slip through the cracks a little bit. The celebration. Buying a home is supposed to be really fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a milestone in your life.
Right.
And you've traveled this journey so many hours. The chase, the hunt, then getting in first place, maybe getting in second place, and then getting in first place, doing your inspections. And so I've really tried to add an element, an escrow I'm closing today, instead of just assuming that they know what funding a loan means and what closing is. They're not familiar with those terms. And
I think we forget sometimes, I know when I first started in real estate, my farm was up in Fort Ranch, and I remember when I first started, they just seemed like mansions to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was really intimidated by them. And, but I kind of forced myself into it. But then in time, because, I sold 170 houses up there on the golf course or something like that. And so there was a time when I just saw every floor plan 50 times. And, it's like, and of course,
hard to be fresh.
And I know you don't miss one house in your farm.
I do, but
you
I
do?
try not to.
I don't mean that you don't list them all, but I mean, you see most.
Yeah, I've seen almost all of them.
And my whole thing was, there's not going to be a house that I'm not going to see, even if I didn't list it. And so I would stay on top of them. So the point was that, for years, You see every listed, and if it's a tract type home, you've seen every floor plan, you've seen every color. You've just seen it, right? And then you get numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
We get numb as real estate people to this, to a lot of the business, and the clients. I mean, I bet if you run through your head right now, you'll have trouble thinking of a client out of your last 50 that had done something in less than 5 or 6 or 10 years, maybe, between transactions, right? So they buy or sell a house every 10 or 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know anything.
Right. Oh, well, you forget it.
Yeah.
So you appreciate it when somebody is there to say, oh my gosh, yay, tomorrow's the big day.
Yeah.
I used to have a countdown. 10 more days till we close. 9 more days. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So the buyer that we're closing on today, she said, what do we do next? I said, we celebrate.
We celebrate.
And I want to restore some of truly the fun.
Yeah.
And it is where your family is going to gather, where you'll hopefully have more children,
right?
Where you'll have your celebrations and hopefully my magnet on your refrigerator to remember me by.
Right.
But I want to restore the fun, the excitement.
Of doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
And it is stressful.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Very stressful.
How do you deal with multiple offers today? Because everything has a multiple offer.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. We put together a really good offer summary
Mm-hmm.
On each offer that comes through. And then we keep another checklist. I say
Same thing.
that'd be me.
Yeah, you got the refrigerator version of it.
Yeah. And where we just catalog when the offer came in,
right?
Buyer name, agent name, and price.
Right.
And then we have the offer summary. And we try to give everybody a shot. I had a great transaction a little bit earlier in the year with a VA buyer, and he was up against all cash offers. I was the listing agent, and
you got a soft spot though.
My heart said, wouldn't it be great if this VA buyer could get the house?
Right.
And so I went to my owner, laid out all the offers, the 5 all cash, everything solid. And I said, I'm just asking you if you feel generous and if you feel like giving somebody a chance, you make your own decision. It's absolutely no pressure.
Right.
But if you could find a spot of warmth in your heart to give this VA buyer, who was also an agent, a chance, I think it would be really fabulous. And I really believe in him.
Right.
And I believe he'll perform in a way that you will not be disappointed. And they said, we agree with you. And so this fabulous VA buyer who's an agent, very up and coming, great agent, he performed perfectly.
Right.
And closed the escrow.
Yeah.
And so it's not always.
Yeah. So people are watching, your son was a Navy SEAL and a highly decorated Navy SEAL at that. And so that's where that soft spot comes from.
You bet.
And it's a little bit for everyone. I've seen it, other people say the same thing. And, but one of the lessons to take away from it is that if you're making an offer, it isn't always so black and white as the price.
It is not. You want that buyer letter. You want that picture. You want to find a way to tug at the heartstrings. And then you have to return the favor. Then when you're a seller, perhaps you can give somebody an opportunity to get in first place.
Do you do that with a buyer? You put together a big, here's the, so what do you want me to know about your buyers?
I want a picture. And if they have kids and a dog, I want them in that picture.
Right.
And then I want them to give a brief summary of who they are and why they love your house and how you can make their dreams come true.
Right.
And it's beautiful when it happens. It doesn't always happen.
Right.
I hope it happens for me today.
But you got to try, right?
You're going to try, you bet.
Yeah.
And these agents that they rapid fire these offers off without anything.
Yeah.
I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
You're one of 20 or 30 offers. I cannot dictate. I can't be your secretary and write down those details. I expect.
But it's still a home. Mm-hmm. So it's still emotional, even if it's a business.
You bet.
You can't help it. So to think that tugging on people's emotions can't help is a little short-sighted, right?
Yeah. And it's special.
Right.
It's more reason to celebrate when you know that you helped somebody that deserves to be helped.
Okay. So let's change gears here.
Yeah.
Someone is new to the business now. You see it all the time. Mm-hmm. And I think I actually submitted a question to you, but what I really mean is sometimes we're in the business and you watch these people that are newer in the business and you just want to shake them, smack them upside the head, say, would you just pay attention to me for 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you're telling them when you do that. First, you pour the cold bucket of water over their head and you say, would you listen? I'm trying to help you here.
Yeah.
Help me.
Well, I think that foundationally, the agents have to find out, how do you do this business? You want to learn from someone that has very high standards and good ethics so that they know how to put a contract together,
right,
and how to protect and how to do their buyer letter and their pictures. And then beyond that, they cannot quit. If you start, you don't quit, because when you quit, the miracle never happens.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
And we all want to quit, let me tell you.
Right.
You talk to any top agent.
Right.
There are days that you think, I cannot keep doing this.
Right.
But what's the alternative? And you just push right through it. You review, why am I doing this? And the same is true for the new agent. Don't quit.
Just don't quit.
Find a way and bring value. I am often amazed when I think there's new agents out there. They should be that squeaky wheel, that knock, knock, knock. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? I want to come alongside you and learn from you.
Right.
Can I do that?
Right.
Can I be your shadow? I have an agent at our office, just such a thing. He said, I want to learn from you. He's learning from several people, not just me. He would not go away. Would not. Calling every day at night. I have this question. I have this. I knew he was going to make it.
Right.
Guess what? He has.
Right.
And he is a shining example, Colin Johnson, of an agent.
I was going to guess that, actually.
Yeah, that kid will not take no for an answer.
Right.
And he has done some big time sales.
Right.
And I am so proud of him. Doesn't
Did
quit.
you have that person? You didn't have that person you were chasing?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I saw them from afar. I
did. And, it's I told you it was Dick Farrell. And that I kind of, and he offered, it was great. And one thing I appreciate that you had mentioned that Colin is maybe talking to several people. That I have found to be a problem in the past, just as I was managing salespeople. And I would always say to them, and I see it in the real estate industry in general today, it's like too many mixed messages.
Yeah.
It's hard enough for us to get out of our own minds and get out of procrastinating. And you procrastinate because I should do this, what should I do, back and forth. And to me, it was like lock on, because there's a lot of paths to get there.
Right.
You had mentioned you and I think Mike earlier that you guys are so different, but you kind of do the same thing. And it's to me, it's like, maybe you kind of bounce around a little bit until you find someone that you sort of connect your soul with a little bit, and then you stay laser focused. I mean, to me, that was always been my advice to people, because the mixed messages, one of the biggest problems today with the real estate companies are, especially the ones that have gotten large, when you come in, there's such a diversity of people and opinion. And you have, on one hand, you have the Chris Williams of the world, and then you have the other people, and usually the other people are a much bigger percentage of the office. And you're going in and they're telling you this, and it's like, you remember the old people when we first started, it was like, you're not farming. The farming doesn't work. Are you kidding? Don't do that.
They still say that today.
I know they do.
I want to say, what are you thinking? Show me your plan then.
Yes.
How are you going to get business?
Yes.
You're not.
Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, it's good repetition and it's good reinforcement.
Right.
But personally, farming it's a gold mine. And it's not just a gold mine in terms of money. It's a gold mine of relationships, a gold mine of change. It's a gold mine of influence.
You have a party every year.
I do.
At your house.
I do.
And for people that are watching, she's like the Monopoly board. She owns the whole block anyway.
Oh, that's sweet.
So you're not actually inviting neighbors. You're inviting your tenants to come. That's what you do.
Only if they'll help.
But you have hundreds of people. Hundreds of people.
I do.
How many?
I think the high year was 600.
600 people.
Fire marshal would have shut me down for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest single? It's got to be the biggest.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do it every year.
I do it every year.
And it's so much work for you.
It is. It's like putting on a wedding every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you invite everybody in your farm because you live in your farm.
I do.
And then you invite all your past clients.
I do.
Then you invite me.
I do.
And other people like me. And they just flow, and it starts all day long.
It goes from 2 till about midnight.
It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
It really is amazing. I think one of the singular greatest things I've seen that people do, because one, it's something that you can count on, and again, you're so consistent with it.
Mm.
You would not have a year that you didn't do that. Maybe
Except
this year.
Yeah,
because of COVID.
Yeah, COVID. And I don't know how the future will change, but it's interesting. I've been on so many listing appointments and interfaced with so many people, and they all say, "We can't wait to come to your Christmas party."
Is that right?
If I become your client, do I only get to come the year that you sell my home, or do I get to come every year?
Right. For someone who created a CRM system for the first time in 1983, that seems very odd to me.
I know. Sorry. I don't know. 1,000 people?
1,000.
Is that a good answer?
I don't know. There's more than that in your farm.
No, I have 1,000 in
houses.
my farm. 1,000 homes, yeah.
Well,
So people.
And you got a couple. You got a husband and wife, or 2 people there, and then you got friends, and you got past clients.
Okay, I was thinking household. Yeah, probably a very large number of people.
Yeah.
Think of me, and I think that what farming.
But I think for someone who's listening and kind of on their way up, to get a sense of that, I think it's really important that because I tell people, I told you, rule number 1, your income is directly proportionate to how many people know you, like, and trust. Mm-hmm. That's rule 1 in real estate. So it really, if that's the foundation, a lot of ways to get there, right? You farm, you have these parties and so forth. But the number's a couple thousand probably. Or more.
It probably is.
Yeah.
And while numbers are important, it's who is out bird dogging for you, who is out looking. And I have a listing right now that I only got.
Advocates, your advocate.
They literally have a bullhorn out. And when they hear that somebody's thinking of selling,
right.
I probably have 3 or 4 things going on right now.
Right.
Because people, Chris, my next door neighbor is thinking of selling. Do you mind if I give them your number? Please do.
Right.
Immediately.
Right.
And I hope to have that listing paperwork today. But it's having the people that are truly out there searching for listings for you.
Right.
And then delivering, because not only am I working for the referral, I'm working to the person that referred.
Right.
As well.
Now, along the way, you've kind of decided what you're going to do, and you've just sort of done it. You took some influence from Hawkins. Mm-hmm. Any other coaches? Today, a lot of coaches out there today.
Yeah.
You ever hire a coach in your life? Never.
No, never had a coach. I'm considering it.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people, they love the accountability and they want to be told, do these 2 things and do it in this order, and magically success will follow. Right. And check in with this person and get coached and get refined and sharpen your sword. I'm just not that person.
Right.
Well,
first of all, you're pretty disciplined about what you do anyway.
I am.
So, yeah, a coach isn't going to get you doing more things. Coach is probably going to systemize you.
100%.
Yeah, which is what you.
100%.
Yeah, which you.
Right. But I think maybe the danger is that you cannot be in this business and rely on somebody else to tell you how to do it.
Right.
You can observe, you can appreciate, you can mimic, but you have to find within you how you're going to do it. And I see agents today that I have a lot of respect for, and I think they're kind of inventing a new way to do this. New marketing, the advent of staging, which I stage almost all my listings at no cost to my owners, with my own inventory.
Even today.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And what's the value of that?
Oh my goodness. I like to say we.
Yeah.
We transform homes.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What we do. And I have a great referral system of handymen and painters and carpet cleaners and people to touch up.
So you're 100% convinced if you staged homes will often bring that value up, be worth it,
100%.
even today.
Without a doubt. In fact, a home that I just staged last week, and I've had this happen probably 10 or 20 times. After I stage it, I heard the wife say as I was leaving, I'm not sure I want to sell. I really like this.
Uh-oh.
Oftentimes they want to sell because they need a different environment.
Yeah.
Like they're so closed in with how much stuff they have.
Right.
And I'm very careful and I get their permission, but it's like, ooh, these 50 things in the room, 40 of them need to leave.
Right.
But it's how you feel when you walk into a home. You walk in, you think, it's so peaceful, it's so pretty.
Right.
It makes you think that you have a better lifestyle.
Your career has gotten better as you've gone. And so that's come from compounding these relationships. In other words, you going back to that rule one again, you're taking these relationships and then over time, and I think the point I'm trying to get across to our people here is the value of doing things with the long term in mind. I see so many people, we turn over, the industry turns over, every 15% a year. So literally everybody today in real estate is less than 5 years in the business.
Oh, wow.
It's remarkable if you think about it. And to have success, but what happens, I notice, particularly now, get a chance to be in so many different companies today that I never had that opportunity before. But it seems like people come and they chase these short-term things, right? It's like, like I said, that, buy the leads or do the Facebook thing or whatever. And none of it's bad. I'm not saying any of it's bad. But when people aren't thinking about, building, if you think long term, if you think that I'm in a business that I start over from scratch every day, and you don't, after all the time you've been in the business, when you wake up every day, you have 2,000 people that already know what you're all about.
Right.
And particularly if you've been able to do well by them over time. And the other thing that I've noticed that you have done well with is.
Well, this is fun. All I'm hearing is I've done things well.
No,
I like that.
It's true. I mean,
thank you.
As an example, you guys have managed to buy and own a lot of real estate and develop a lot of wealth through that, and that takes time. That takes time
and risk.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And risk
is that everybody thinks that success comes on a silver platter.
Right.
It does not.
Right.
It comes on a jagged old piece of metal that you're, at least in my world,
right.
that I'm sanding and I'm cleaning and I'm polishing and I'm trying to make it look better.
Right.
An opportunity doesn't just come to you and you say, that is perfect and beautiful.
Right.
It isn't. It's imperfect and it's not pretty.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make it more perfect.
And if it does, you better kind of be cautious.
You bet. Yeah, because most things are not handed to you.
Yeah.
Because then you're not going to appreciate them. You have to develop them.
You've been really fundamentally sound, which is what I really promote a lot. I saw so many agents who would come in business and depend on the market. If you were having a good market, anybody could do business.
Anybody.
And so they would think that their success was somehow all about them and their ego, and not grounded in fundamentals. Fundamentals. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
and so what happens? The market turns a little bit, and boom, they're gone.
Right.
Instead of saying, "Let my business build for me all the time."
Right. And put some money away, save for that rainy day.
Right.
I mean, a broken clock is still right twice a day.
Right.
You're gonna, in a good market, you're gonna strike regardless of your skill set.
Right.
But how do you forge through that? How do you weather those storms and use that time to get better and better and better? Develop new systems. What do your people really, really need? What do they want?
Right.
And my dad said to me once, the best gift is unexpected. Well, it's your birthday. Everybody expects something.
Right.
At closing, everybody kind of expects something.
Right.
But what a special thing when you give an unexpected item at an unexpected time.
Right.
Just because. And that's how I'm trying to
connect with people.
Continue to build my business. What can I do that's unexpected?
Right.
I've seen literally broken sprinklers and I'm rushed and I don't have time but I stop and I say, oh my gosh, your sprinkler is gushing in the parkway.
Right.
And they're like, thank you so much for telling me that. I would have never known.
Right.
And so it's the little things.
What, you just said, I'm building my business.
Right.
You know, you've been doing this for 40 years.
42.
42 years. And you're still building your business.
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to stop?
I don't know.
What's your exit plan here?
I don't have one.
Well, your husband's already trying to.
I know
he's trying to tie you down a little bit.
He's tugging me.
Yeah.
You know, in a perfect world, I'd like to find somebody that is young and energetic that would want to come alongside me and really, really work hard.
Right.
There's no silver spoon here.
Right.
We're going to start with a plastic spoon.
Right.
And make it sterling silver.
So you have no plans on any immediate exit.
I don't, because what would I do?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'd be a professional weed puller.
I get asked that all the time. Why do you still work so hard? It's because I really like it.
Yeah, I love the results.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Every time I close an escrow, I'm like, woohoo!
Yeah.
This is exciting.
It still feels good to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
And it's keeping it fresh is part of it. I mean, isn't that it? I mean, because you can bore real easy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
I mean,
so,
I do.
Yeah.
That's why you always have to find a better way to do it.
Yeah.
And I like to surprise people. You know, I like to do more than what I even said I would do.
Right.
I have a client right now, actually was a very successful owner of a large real estate company that hired me to sell his home a year and a half ago. He is still getting mail to this day, once a week, once every 10 days. I go and I pick up his mail at his old address and send it to him.
Right.
I'm not doing that so that I'll get more referrals from him, but I hope that happens.
Right.
But at some point, you know, the mail forwarding, I don't know when it's going to kick in.
Right.
That was a bad way to wrap this.
Maybe never know.
Yeah. My point is
market.
that you don't give up. Even though it's time consuming, I'm picking up that mail
Right.
and I'm forwarding it to him a year and a half later.
Right.
And that's what you do when you want
Okay.
to grow.
Two things I'm going to let you go.
Yep.
Go back, if you will, again, just for these people that will be watching. You know, we have millions of viewers. You know that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I know. So tell them one more piece of advice again. Tell me what I can't miss. I can't not listen to you about one thing.
I think I would say
The last time you said never quit.
never quit.
Okay, so I'm looking for a little something different.
Okay, a little something different.
Yeah.
What I would say is try to look down the road 5 years
Right.
and say, who do you want to be and how are you going to get there?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to get there by waking up at 7 or 8 in the morning? Are you going to get there by playing? Are you going to get there by spending money you don't have? The answer would be a big fat no.
Right.
Be the person, create who you want to be.
Right.
And do that by waking up early every day, by surprising people, by bringing them value and being better at what you do.
Yeah.
And getting those clients that maybe give you a little kick in the rear that totally change. That bit of advice has probably made me $250,000.
Right.
But I was devastated at the time. So develop yourself into the person that you want to be and that is well respected.
Right.
And worthy to be imitated.
Yeah. Grow into I think that's it. You know, I used to say that I invented reality TV because I told, real estate agents that when you wake up in the morning, pretend like there's a camera on you.
Oh, there you go.
And everybody that's going to do business with you in the future is just watching you.
Right.
What are they going to think?
Right. Exactly.
Not when you're in front of them and you're performing.
Right.
But who you are.
Right. When you're not.
Yeah.
When nobody's watching.
Yeah. They're going to like you when you're not performing.
Yeah.
And if you can think like that, I think, so that's good advice, Chris.
Yeah.
All right. So I had asked you to give me one weird, crazy story, strangest thing that ever happened in the real estate business for you.
Oh, goodness.
A client experience, something that made you laugh or something that just unusual.
Well, I think the first thing that comes to my mind, just wild, crazy, is I had a listing on in Chatsworth, and it wasn't selling. The couple was getting a divorce. And I truly felt bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them that they need to get their gardener back and they need to paint the inside of their house. It's dirty and the lawn is thick. And they said, we don't have money for that. So the truth is, they had paint in the garage. I brought a roller, and during the open house, it was really slow. I painted their hallway for them. And as people would come in, I put my paint away. And I would haul my lawnmower and mow their lawn.
Did it yourself?
Did it myself. I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's a great story. In fact, I know you. Do you still carry the overalls in your car?
Well, I sure do. I mean,
so that's a good story.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard you.
Oh, I have a great
fight
story.
with termite people because you.
I know.
You put on your overalls and crawl underneath
go
the
under
house.
that house.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have a story. I want to retract that one.
All right.
I was out farming about 10 years ago in Buckingham Estates, Billy Robertson's house, famous pool maker. And he has these beautiful iron gates. They're about, in my mind, they're 20 feet tall. They're probably 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Gorgeous iron gates. It's 6 a.m. and usually those gates are locked for me to put my flyer. I push on the gate and it opened and I thought, this is beautiful. I'm getting to the front door this time.
Right.
I put my flyer up and unbeknownst to me, the gate locked behind me. And I am stuck in his courtyard at 6 a.m. I'm looking around. First of all, I want to see, are there cameras? Are they going to see?
Security. Yeah.
Do you think I could climb over that? I've got my stack of stuff. Can I climb over this? I'm a little humiliated. Looking around, I look at the window and there they are eating their breakfast, smiling at me. I wave, and they are cracking up. And I was grateful that I wasn't humiliated having to climb over there.
That's so fun.
And about 6 years later, I listed their home and sold it. And that was a beautiful moment.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Well, listen, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you. I'm so
people
honored
will
to
watch
be here.
you. People will watch you and learn from you, and you will have done something good for the world.
Well, thank you. I'm so honored that you would even include me.
Always,
Truly, I am.
Always.
So thank you.
Thank you again.
And please edit all those bad stories and cheating, because I'm not a cheater.
No bad. Yeah.
Unless it's
She is a cheater.
against Roger.
She is a cheater. Okay, well, thank you folks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Again, thanks for Chris Williams, and we'll see y'all later.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Ambitious Broker Podcast, where elite real estate professionals share their secrets to success, discuss topics impacting their industry, and gain professional development insights. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please rate it and leave a review.